feet tall. Namaskara. Welcome to Dhaatu Navaratra Mahotsava 2021, which is a very special year for us because India is celebrating her 75th year of independence. It is Amrita Mahotsava, and Amrita is the immortality nectar which the whole world needs to overcome the pandemic situation. So there has been efforts here and there following the protocols to bring back the intangible heritage and tradition and festivities. I have with me today, as part of the Dhaatu team, Divya Hoskere, who's behind the camera, and Prakriti Hoskere, who's assisting us. I am Anupama Hoskere, the founder director of Dhaatu, along with Vidya Shankar Hoskere. Other members of the team who have contributed towards this grand display you see here would be Kaushik Sampath, and then Keshav Hoskere, Radha Sampath, and then Sampath Kumar, and Vedas Hoskere. So we have the blessings of our elders, Srimati Sriranganayaki and Srimati Shanta and Sri H.K. Nanjundaswamy, who come here, inaugurated with the puja and the Kalasha puja. We have done the Kalasha Sthapana today. And we are here to share whatever we have put up with all of you. The intangible heritage of Karnataka, which is not a Habba, Dasara. All of you know the Mysore Dasara, where the unbroken traditions have come from the Vijayanagar Empire, and before that it goes back to the Rigvedic times when people would come out and dance, saying the rains are over, let us celebrate the beautiful weather. Now, part of this stream of tradition in Karnataka especially has been the display of Gauri dolls. They are called Gauri dolls because Gaura means respectable, pious, and somebody who contributes to society and which is of a higher level, the stories. So those dolls which do this job would be Gauri dolls. Also, Gaura Varna is pale yellow color. Originally, these dolls would be made with pale yellow color, so there may be a reason that it's called Gauri dolls for that also. They're made out of wood. It's right behind me, you can see. And they lean towards, they lend themselves to depicting different stories from our Puranas and history and epics. Now, we have today a scene from the Bhagavata. Very soon after Dasara, there is going to be Naraka Chaturdashi, where we have Deepavali. The first day in South India, we celebrate Naraka Chaturdashi. Narakasura was the demon king of Pragjyotishapura, which is near Guwahati today in India. And Narakasura had captured 16,000 princesses. And while all the princes were taken care by Jarasandha, who wanted to assert the kingdoms. Now, the princesses who had been captured by Narakasura were freed by Krishna on this day, which we call Naraka Chaturdashi, which would be Deepavali. And on that day, all of us have the Mangala Snana, right? So when the princesses became free, they all went and bathed and wore new clothes because they were freed from Naraka, which really means hell. So now they had a problem. They were not happy. They had another problem. Now they had freedom. But then they asked the Lord, Krishna, where do we go? Who will take us back? We have been imprisoned for such a long time that nobody knows we exist anymore. They've forgotten us. Our fathers and husbands and brothers, and we don't know where they are. So who is going to take care of us? Who's going to give us our kingdom, our positions? We are all princesses of India. In those days, princesses would rule the kingdom if the king or the prince was not there. But now the kingdoms were usurped by Jarasandha, so these princesses had nowhere to go. Krishna says, never mind, you can get married to a prince, And then life continues. It's all right, something happened, but you now continue with life. And the princess says, we've been imprisoned by this Narakasura for such a long time. Who's going to marry us? Will you marry us? Krishna, without a pause, says, sure, I can offer you shelter, all of you. You will be my princesses. And all 16,000 of them, well, not to be taken in the literary sense, it also represents the different nadis of the body which become one with the Lord. Anyways, the 16,000 princesses for our story today get married to Krishna. Now Krishna has a problem on his hands that he needs to find dwelling in Dwaraka for 16,000 new brides. 16,000 palaces get built in Dwaraka. And Narada Muni, who is a bhakta of Narayana, and he can fly. We have this principle of flight where people can become light and yogic powers. He has those powers and he's in flight. And then he sees from the skies, there is talk. There is so much light in Dwaraka. It's so sparkling bright. It's so rich. It's so beautiful that Narada Muni goes and sees from the skies. And then he says, aha, 16,000 princesses does he have? Let me see. And it descends upon earth in Dwaraka. And then he goes to the house of Rukmini. And then he asks Rukmini, hey, where is your Lord? Rukmini Devi, is Krishna there? And of course Krishna is there sleeping. And then he's very satisfied. Narada says Krishna is spending all his time, he's relaxing here with Rukmini. What about the other princesses he's brought to Dwaraka? And so in order to create trouble, Narada goes and starts visiting the houses of the different princesses one by one by one. And lo behold, what does he see? Let us take a look. With one princess, Krishna is playing in the waters with a swan. And there he is on the swing. He's pushing another princess. Narada goes to the next house. And there he finds Krishna pushing the swing and having a very nice time with another princess. Narada says, how can this be? And then he hears the melodious flute of Krishna. He is watching Krishna here pushing the swing. But then Narada hears the melodious flute and he's just drawn there. And to his surprise, there is also Shukamuni who's sitting quietly under a tree and enjoying the nada of the flute of Krishna. And then Narada peeks into this house. And what does he see? He sees a princess in ecstasy dancing away. She's so happy, dancing to the tunes of Krishna's flute. Narada is now very excited. He says, oh my God, what's going on? And such beautiful sights. He's very thrilled. And then he goes on further to see Krishna offering puja to the Kadasha with another princess. And Narada says, this is too good to be true. So much happening in Dwaraka. No wonder there is so much energy, there is so much excitement, and everybody is talking about this. But as he goes further behind, he sees Krishna putting flowers on the head of a princess, onto the hair. He's helping her dress up. And then, of course, there is Krishna serving and getting served. He's eating food. He loves to eat the cooked meals of another princess who's serving him food. Krishna is having his meal. And then we have this game in India called, in Kannada it's called Alguli Mane, where it is a game of counting, adults play. It's a mental math game. And there is Krishna with another princess playing that game. And of course, she's not going to let him win. Looks like that. If you look at her, you know she is the winner. But he is relaxing. And Narada says, oh, he has time to play games. And then far behind, Krishna is pulling the dress, the sargu of sargu is that part of the sari which hangs behind, and calling, beckoning his maiden to come in the garden. You see Krishna and his princess there. Krishna is saying, my dear, come on, have a seat. There is a beautiful vriksha, a tree here. And Narada Muni is witnessing all of this. Narada says, well, here I was wondering how Krishna is going to handle the princesses, and now I know. And then Narada comes back to Rukmini's house, only to see Krishna as Lord Narayana, as Lord Vishnu in his Adishesha, bed of Adishesha, with Rukmini there as Mahalakshmi. And this is the sight that Narada beholds. And then he bows down to Krishna and goes back ecstatically happy and delighted. Many of you might be wondering, where can I get these dolls? How are these dolls made? How do you decorate them even if you have those dolls? The simplest thing I can give you closest to this, which is available everywhere, is a mannequin. If you can modify the faces, even a bald head you can start with that. You get a wig. We've used wigs on everybody. Of course, I've painted a lot of them to look like Krishna this year. And then the alankara. That means you decorate till all the floors are covered and it looks beautiful. So you do with necklaces, hairstyles, earrings, and all the works for the head. We have many styles available in India. So I never run out of hairstyles and decoration items because there's so much here. And if you want to make it, you can use ribbons and make your own beads and ribbons, golden beads and ribbons. And of course, then there is for the male god or grandeur, there is what we call the yadehara, the chest cutting, if it's in English. That can be made with velvet and beads. And the dhotis you put on, the shirts you can sew. Well, if you're not having sartorial skills, you can use pins, safety pins, and take some nice fabric and put it up. And then we have flowers for the braids, and each one, painting of course you have to do. Don't feel scared if you've never painted before. I wasn't trained formally in painting, but I did it and I do it. I may not be perfect, but it is an enjoyable task. Just as you would put makeup on your own face, put makeup on these dolls. They're very human-like. And sometimes, for example, when I did this Krishna who's in the front, I was filled with love for the Lord. So this process takes you to think of Krishna, or how was Krishna, read the story. It is available a lot. All stories are available to us today. Strike of a button, you can get a story, read it, whatever story, and then go into the details of the story. It helps you create a scene, and then let go of the story. Then use your imagination. Think of whatever it is, whichever Lord. See, I always say Lord Krishna, Rama, Shiva, because the rise you can have doing this. This is the purpose of Navaratra. You might ask, why don't you just keep mundane dolls? We have mundane dolls too. One of the days we'll show it to them, but they don't give you a rise. The energy which comes with these stories is what makes the work worth it. And so that is also required. Little children will enjoy it. We need to do that. Along with that, we need to introduce them to this rich, intangible heritage of our nation. And thank you all for being part of the first day of Dhaatu Navaratra Mahotsava. And if you have any questions about the Gauri dolls or where to find them, would be one question everybody asks. It is mainly made in Kinhada district, Koppala district in Karnataka. But few people, they don't make that many that everybody can have it. You can make your own. See, becoming independent in creation gives you unlimited scope. So explore with mannequins. If you want large, there are a lot of people asking me online, where do you get it? So please explore using mannequins, and you can we're back again. That is what it is with these Gauri dolls. So if you have any questions, and we will be happy to answer whatever we can. And have a lovely Navaratra. And those of you who haven't kept your dolls, please do so today. There's still time, and there's 9 more days. Celebrate life, because this is all about Srishti, Sthiti and Laya. It is about creation, sustenance, and then destruction. So this is reality of life for us, which we've seen at very close quarters. We need to celebrate, and we need to rise. Namaskara.